Alrighty, I think we are live. How's it going, guys? Here we are. We're getting excited for the summer game events, and we're starting off with PlayStation. In fact, originally we were going to be starting off with the actual Summer Games Fest, but Sony being Sony, loving announcing these things like the day before, we are now checking out Sony's first. And I thought this was going to be a showcase, but it's just a state of play. So I don't know what to think. I don't know if this is going to be like. I heard it's 40 minutes, so we know that. But I don't know if it's going to be like a significant show, like what it's going to encompass. Is this just an update on the current releases? Are we getting new announcements in here? Like I was half expecting a showcase. It's been a very long time since the last PlayStation showcase. So I don't know, man. Here, I'll go ahead and make this the only tab for now. But I'm excited. I'm hoping that we'll get some concrete information on some dates, and I think Sony for the later half of this year we have Ghost of Yote and Lost Soul Aside. I think that's the only stuff announced so far. Hey Trigam, how's it going? Good to see you here, dude. Yeah, I mean, I'm in the same boat as you. I don't really know what to expect. I just like I feel like current modern day gaming is all about let's announce games coming out like 3 months before they actually are. So everything's so like last second, and I feel like no one wants to give anybody time to anticipate. You know. Hey Tyler, how's it going? I am doing well. Thanks for being here. So yeah, I mean it's an exciting time. I mean I love this time of the year where we get to just kind of be excited and get to get new announcements and stuff, and see new gameplay and things like that. So I'm looking forward to all the new announcements in the games, but I'm trying to think. There's a lot of stuff that has been announced and that's been announced for years, and we still do not, have information on. I want to know what's going on with like Judas, Ken Levine's new game. I want to know what's going on with like Pragmata from Capcom, or Clockwork Revolution from Microsoft. Like I want to know like details about these games that we've heard about for so long. What happened to that game? That double A slash indie game Routine that was in development since 2014, got kind of stuck in limbo, then was brought back and reintroduced like 3 years ago, and now there's like no information about it yet again. So it's like, wait, is it back in limbo? Like that's what I want to know. Those are the games I want to hear about. The long stuff that we've been kind of waiting for since around this generation's launch, that's just had like little to no information. Anyway, hopefully we'll get some details about that. Hey Amster, good to see you, dude. In any case, it's 40 minutes today, and then I'm going to be back on Friday doing the Summer Games Fest. And then we got the Future Game Show, Microsoft event, and reluctantly the PC Gaming Show. I don't know how I feel about being. I hope this year's PC Gaming Show isn't like it probably will be, but I'm hoping it's not going to be like the others where it's like 3 hours of just like the most poorly paced, slow, announcements of like, hey, we got like all these smaller titles you never heard about, which is awesome, but then they try to reel you in with like the one big stuff. Like, didn't they do that? Whoa, I just hit the microphone. Sorry. Didn't they do that last year with the Dune game that supposedly is coming out in the next couple weeks? It's I believe in last year's PC Gaming Show, they're like, oh, we got gameplay for Dune Awakening or whatever it's called. And then you watch it, and you have to literally watch like 2.5 hours of the show, and then that's like the last thing they show, and it wasn't even anything significant. So, reluctantly, I will be streaming the PC Gaming Show. However, you guys know my feelings about it. I'll try not to mention it until we get to that point. I hope I didn't like burst your eardrums when I hit the mic. Anyway, other than that, this week has been quite busy for me. I've been working on a lot of videos for you guys. So I got like a massive video coming out this month's project video. And then we got some more videos coming out. I need to just be, I might as well just announce it here since we have a little bit of time, but I'm not getting a Switch 2 at launch or tomorrow when it comes out. To be honest, you know, for me, it's like I just want the system to make an unboxing video for. I know, like, right now, I have no real interest in hardcore playing the system. And with the original Switch, although I really recognize it's a great platform, and it is, it's a really well put together platform. However, you know, I just completed my entire Switch library, and it took me a couple of years of like hardcore consistently playing it. You know, I didn't have that many games for the platform, but it took me a little while to get through it, especially with longer games like Zelda and stuff like that. And ultimately, you know, I just feel like playing that system and feeling like I had to force myself to get through some of those games, not because they were bad, but just because they didn't necessarily appeal to the type of games that I like. I just felt that me getting a Switch, when it really came down to it, I wouldn't have got one on release if I didn't do YouTube. And me doing YouTube, I only want one to make an unboxing video for and maybe do a review on. But it's like $500 for the system plus whatever amount of money to get games and accessories. It's like a ton. It's really expensive, and it's just not something that it's not something I really think that most of my core audience cares about. So I'm not saying I will. I probably will get a Switch 2 just down the road. I might even get one later this year. Maybe the stars will align, and it's just like, oh, you know, there's a lot more games now, or maybe the system gets some price drop. You know, it's gonna be really interesting to see how the Switch 2 does with $450 and $500 as a price point. That's the cost of a PS5, and then you have the $80 games. That's what I'm most interested in kind of seeing what happens, is what's going to happen with the initial launch of the Switch 2 with its price point and the games. So anyway, I hope you guys aren't too upset about that. You know, all the videos are still on schedule otherwise, so you can expect, you know, as you've been expecting, basically the same pace, the same output for the rest of the year. I'm still working to keep that consistent, but maybe I will get a Switch 2 later this year. Maybe I will wait until a Switch 2 Lite comes out, because I much prefer the Switch, the original Switch Lite version, over the normal standard version. Even though you lose out on some features, I just like the handheld aesthetic of it more. I felt that the games were more tailored to that experience. But anyway, just wanted to put that out there, okay? Has anyone been playing anything recently? I'm considering right now doing a playthrough of the Hell Is Us demo, which is exclusively right now on Steam. Kind of surprised they're not releasing it on the other platforms, but I'm considering doing a video for Hell Is Us. Here we go. Let me know how the volume is, guys. Turn it down a little bit. Is it too loud, or should I bring it up? Yeah, Trigun, like, we're talking like a kind of similar to the RoboCop demo, you know? So it'll probably be like 30 minutes to an hour, because I like to cut down, you know, long demos into more concise videos to watch. So yeah, just playing through the demo. The reason I say that is because there's a portion of my audience that I know does not have sort of gaming PCs, you know? So a lot of these demos that are exclusively on PC, I like to kind of cover. You know, and like I would just use Jacob's computer to play it, because he just got a 9070 XT a couple months ago, so it'll probably run fine on that. But anyway, yeah, I don't know if you guys would be interested in that. So just sort of me playing through the demo, giving my thoughts. I am actually really looking forward to the game, especially that the Jonathan Jacques Bellatet, if I'm pronouncing his name right, the art director from the Deus Ex games, he's at the helm of it. This is his creative vision, his studio. So it's one that I'm actually really excited for. Oh, you've been playing Doom: The Dark Ages, Brett? I heard that's been really good. All the Doom games have been awesome. So, and it looks like, you know, it's just in their prime right now. Oh, thanks. I appreciate that, dude. Love watching your videos. Keep up the great work. Yeah, that means a lot. Really appreciate that. And I just hope I hope that I continue to entertain you guys and that you guys are happy with the pace of the content. You know, now that I've kind of switched things around really last year, but I've been trying my best to kind of keep consistent since the last several years have not been consistent at all. So I hope that the pace of the content is at least, you know, satisfying. Anyway, yeah, I have I still have taken a break from modern gaming, so honestly I'm not playing anything that's been released this generation so far. I had like a hard stop after I beat Starfield and Mortal Kombat 1, and so pretty much any game that released after those I have not tried yet. However, I'm still collecting games and buying games and stuff like that, usually just on sales and you know, like really good deals. So still been doing that, but yeah, I think this year I'm probably going to get back to it. You know, it's been a long time. The funny thing is that because I've waited so long, all of the issues, especially with the PS5 Pro and that coming out, and the games that have had issues with optimization on that platform, a lot of that stuff has been fixed. There's still some games we're waiting on fixes for. In fact, I don't know if you guys heard, but Silent Hill 2, which is infamously broken right now on PS5 Pro, Blooper Team actually finally made a statement saying, yeah, we're still planning to fix it, we just don't know when we're going to be able to fix it. Which tells me that Sony, they're basically waiting on Sony to make a PSSR 2 implementation, right? Before they actually release a patch. Because I bet that it's an inherent issue to the way that PSSR is implemented, that it just doesn't work well with some graphical rendering techniques. That's what my personal opinion is. I hope the state of play is great. Yeah, me too. I mean, besides, I don't know what else is coming out from Sony besides Lost Soul Aside and Ghost of Yotei later this year. That's like it. So it'd be great to get some other, like, maybe if they're not, you know, actual Sony Interactive Entertainment IPs, just some, you know, AAA partner exclusives. It'd be great to get, you know, some release dates for those. And like I said, I want to know what's going on with some of those games that we've heard about for years. I finished Doom: The Dark Ages, playing it right after Lost Records, Bloom and Rage. Felt a bit soul-crushing. Lost Records is the other Don't Nod game, right? Is it Don't Nod, or is it Deck 8 or whoever that's been making those? I think it's getting a physical release, Lost Records, in the next couple months. So I might pick it up, if that's the case. Where do I think PlayStation, Xbox, and Nintendo will be at in 2032 and 33? Well, that's very specific. I expect the Switch 2 will still be Nintendo's system in 2030. We'll probably be getting whatever the next successor to the Switch would be around 2030. I think they might keep the Switch 2 a little bit longer, to be honest, but I don't know. PlayStation 6 should be out around that time, and I expect that will be the last traditional console. I'm going to be making a video on this topic, a gameplay discussion about this topic, but we're at the point where the console generations are over. It's the end of generations. It's not about that anymore. There's not going to be this divide in this point. It's just going to be, here's a platform, we're going to support it as long as possible, and then we're going to have more frequent hardware upgrades, like a PlayStation 5 Pro every 4 years, or a Pro console every 4 or 5 years. I think that's going to be the situation. As far as Xbox, the next Xbox will be out, well, it's going to be out sooner if the rumors are to be believed. And I half expect it's going to be a glorified Steam machine running a different version of Windows, or a version of the whatever OS is on the series consoles. And you're going to be able to open it up and put like a graphics card in, and it's going to be a glorified computer. That's what I half expect these companies will be around that time frame. Hello, Soul of Air. I finally finished Death Stranding Director's Cut yesterday. Superb game, and I can't wait for Death Stranding 2. Death Stranding 1 was, yeah, fantastic. I'm gonna look at Death Stranding 2 is coming out in like a couple of weeks. It's like really soon. In fact, I think reviewers right now, they just got the game. The press did, so here's hoping. I just hope that it's as impactful and is as just like, I mean, I would like if they kind of cut out a bit of the cheesiness of it, because not everything in Death Stranding kind of hit. You know, everyone famously references that Princess Beach moment, that scene. It just feels weird. So I wonder, I'm hoping Kojima has matured since writing that game. I'm sure he has, but I'm kind of curious to see, you know, just to see what he does with the cinematic direction of the game. You know, that's why I really like playing them. It's just like, you're looking at it, you're like, you know, it feels so crafted. All of his experiences, like, so, like, handcrafted. Anyway, I'm excited for it, and especially to see what they do with the online stream system aesthetic. Brett says, a couple of months ago I found a copy of Devil May Cry 4 Steelbook for 360 at a retro game store called Playback. Playback Video Games. It was really cool. Is it rare or something? Or I guess it's just the novelty of finding a 360 game on a store shelf. Deck 9 made Life is Strange Double Exposure, and it's my least favorite in the series. Such an underwhelming game. Okay. I like Double Exposure more than Life is Strange 2, to be completely honest. But I still like, to me, I still really, you know, love the first one. I have not played the new one, whatever it's called. The one where they brought back Max. I have not played that yet. Do I think 2030's graphics will reach its max? No, I think things will largely look the same. I think you're going to see more ray tracing and hopefully more optimization of ray tracing, but I think things will largely be comparable, to be honest. Hey, Lloyd. Good to see you here. Oh, they sell all kinds of retro stuff. Okay. I do have Devil May Cry 4 on the 360, but not a Steelbook. I thought I did a reminiscing video on it. If I haven't, then I certainly recorded footage for it. What the hell is this? We're starting off artsy. Let me make sure this is 4K. Are we getting a sequel to Dreams? Feel free to tell me if the volume needs adjusting, by the way. Is this Luminous? What is this?
Running through our veins, heartbeat, love is making waves, emotion, running through our veins, heartbeat, love is making waves.
It's destroying the compression. All these particles. Is this Luminous or something? It is Luminous.
Love is making waves.
Okay, it is a new Luminous game. God, the last one I played was on the PlayStation Vita. And that's interesting. The one that brought back
Hello
Max
from Enhance.
is
I'm
double
Tetsuya Mizuguchi.
exposure, True Colors.
ディレクターの石原隆です。
Oh, I misread that.
のトレー
Okay.
ラー楽しんで
Yeah,
いただ
True
けたでしょう
Colors
か。
I like
こ
more
の
than
秋
Life is Strange. I did not play
PlayStation
double
5
exposure yet. Yeah, sorry about
PSVR2
that.
対応で発売予定です。
True Colors is your
リ
second
ミネス
pick.
アライズはバラエティ豊かな曲と美しいビジュアルが没流感を高め、
Anyone here
いつまで
played
も
the
遊びたくなる
the
ゲーム
Luminous
体験
series?
となっています。
I mean, you
その世
play
界
it
は
for the
とても
music,
心地よく
obviously,
プレイ
but
ヤーを共感覚の世界へと
it's a
導
bit
きま
like
す。
Tetris on
まあよ
steroids.
くある普通のパズルゲームってことだよね。まあテトリスエフェクトを一度遊んだことがある人はわかると思いますが、ルミネスアライズはただのパズルゲームではあ
Oh,
りま
these
せ
are the
ん。
guys who did Tetris Effect.
夏
I
にシングル
see.
とマルチプレイの体験版を配信予定です。ぜひ皆さん手に取って遊んでみてください。
Thank you and enjoy the rest of State of Play.
Well, that's cool. Yeah, Luminous is. I played it on the I think it was called Luminous Electronic Symphony on PlayStation Vita, and you know it's if you like Tetris, if you like those games, that's kind of what it's
just a
like.
dream.
Except they play all this, you know,
It's a promise.
really cool trance music.
One we're turning into
It's
reality.
very graphical.
With our third generation of Luna filament and advanced generative AI, we're reshaping the line between dreams and reality. We create life for our future. Delphi Corporation.
Delphi. Well, that sounds like a good setup for a new Watch Dogs
Let's see
game.
about getting passed through to Earth.
And why are these things trying to kill us?
There you are.
It's Pragmata. Okay, dude, I was just talking about this. Captured on PS5 Pro. Oh, this is awesome. I was hoping we were gonna get information about this. Okay.
I am DI03367. They are
Whoa,
pragmatic.
whoa,
critics.
hang on a second.
Don't you have a name or something?
I'm good. Get behind me.
I think I can help.
Third-person action shooter with platforming elements.
Neutralizing threats.
Puzzle solving.
Neutralize us?
Looks like we're gonna have to fight our way through. What the?
Bypassing first and second firewalls. Hooking control protocols. Initiating hack.
Date? A window? Please?
Hey, D.I.
I said I am DI0.
Okay. Look, how about we call you Diana?
Diana?
A date? Something. Okay, next year. They keep posting those. All right, at least, hey, we get something. It's not perfect, but it's something. They keep giving us, like, teasers and things like that. I like the art direction a lot. And it's a new franchise. It's a new IP. It's from Capcom, so there's a certain quality that you can expect there.
Saturday, which means curry time.
Yeah, that looks good.
Speaking of curry, apparently the current president is actually a humane. What does that
Brett says, I'm hoping we hear more about Crisis 4 and Kingdom Hearts 4. Well, Crisis 4, unfortunately, you know, is looking like it's going through some hell right now
Romeo,
with
stay with
Crytek.
me, Pa. You're gonna die.
But yeah, I'm right there with you. I want it
You're
as
gonna
well.
die
Kingdom
in
Hearts 4, I'm not a big
15
Kingdom Hearts person at all.
Seriously. Seriously.
But
Don't worry, I made this.
they announced
just
that a
in
long
case.
time ago,
The
too.
Gear life support system. Don't move, okay?
Dragon says it looks like Control, Pragmata. A bit more brighter, less brutalism.
You're already half dead. From now on, you're half dead man. No, wait, that's pretty lame. Dead man.
It's a cool art
From
direction.
now on, you're dead man.
Oh! We're getting some early footage of Intergalactic. Oh no, now it looks like Dead Rising. Was this the same game that we were just looking at with the animated, like, hand-drawn cutscenes? This is nuts. You know what it kind of looks like is Stellar Blade a bit, but more like more crazy. This looks good. I'd play that.
2026. Maybe.
Huh? That was Grandpa's voice. Are you like a spirit?
I'm on your back.
What?
Check it's animated. Grasshopper manufacturing. That looks familiar. Oh, it's a Suda 51. Okay. Like No More Heroes and stuff. Oh, that's awesome. Okay. Yeah, I'm definitely. That definitely looks good.
皆さんトレーラーどうでした？グラスホッパーの久々の新作、ロミオイザデッドマンです。いよいよ発表できました。このゲームはですね。
Yeah, you know what? It looks a lot like No More Heroes 3.
かっこいいでしょ。
Because No More Heroes 3 had those cutscenes that were kind of animated like that too.
さまざまな時空に飛んで倒していく。そんなブラッディなアクションゲームとなっています。そして今回はですね、剣だけじゃありません。銃も使えます。ストロングスタイルのアクションゲームとして、チーム一丸となって頑張って作ってます。そしてなんで、タイトルがですね、ロミオなのにデッドマンなのか、それは皆さんぜひ続報をお待ちください。プレイステーション30周年過ぎちゃいましたけどおめでとうございます。それでは引き続きステートオブプレイをお楽しみください。
I guess that was, well, technically I guess it's this year in the States. But 94 was when the original PlayStation launched in Japan. Anyway, that looked really good. Oh, Silent Hill F. Well, we finally know what the F stands for. Maybe 5. Oh, dude, could you imagine if this is coming out this year? I'm kind of hard-pressed to believe, because Konami already has the Metal Gear 3 remake coming out, so maybe next year. But this is looking good so far. They do such a good job with the visuals. That looks really good. I'm just really hoping it's a big win for them, and just this franchise to see it return, you know, like that. Oh, September 25th? Oh, I didn't realize it was coming that soon. That's nuts. Wow. That looks like... That's really soon. I'm kind of shocked. Wait, so... isn't, like, Metal Gear 3, the remake, coming out in late August? So Konami has that, and then literally the next month, they're going to be releasing Silent Hill F.
The castle has been sighted again.
That's nuts.
The church's orders
anyway,
are
that looks
absolute.
good. I'm definitely gonna be checking that one out.
Must be stopped. We will track the ethereal castle, break its gates, and exterminate the creatures that dwell within. The demon lord himself will fall by our hand. This mission will test the limits of your courage. You will face horrors beyond your darkest imaginings.
I like the mix of like 2D and 2.5D with like fully animated 3D cutscenes and stuff. And it's still like, it's retaining like an animated look, you know, it's not trying to be realistic. Kind of reminds me of Metroid and Castlevania. Metroidvania. Genre exists. Brett says he's excited for The Witcher 4. I know the gameplay came out during the Unreal conference. I actually have not watched it yet. I've seen screenshots, so I already know how batshit crazy it looks, but I have not watched the full video yet. I've been busy, I'm sorry. Bloodstained. Yeah, it looks like it's a Metroidvania game, so it looks solid. I think the art looks great.
So you've come, dogs of the church, right into the palm of my hand.
I'm hoping for Halo on the PlayStation. Well, that'd be interesting if it's announced at a state of play. We're gonna have to wait for the Microsoft conference for that. In fact, I don't even think Microsoft would show that at their conference. They'd tweet that out or something. They're not gonna. They're not gonna push an advertisement for their game on a competitor's platform at their own conference.
Our ultimate mission is to uncover the causality between these anomalies.
It's probably a phase electron life form. Is that what you call us, Digimon? I'll always be right here with you.
Digimon.
Who exactly are you working for? I remember you guys.
Who or what is that?
You really don't know anything about the
Is it just me, or do all these games like look the same to me?
But this is the first time the Titans have launched an
Like
attack
every one of these games is trying to
Most
be
of the
like
anomalies we've been dealing with stem
like
from
Persona.
It seems the upcoming battle is truly unavoidable.
Digimon. The world on
That's
this
what
end
it
is
feels
running out
like.
of time.
If the gate is opened with the digital world in such a state, the human world will most certainly be affected.
Do the Titans not care about the end of the digital world?
Stop it! That egg is very important!
I don't play any of these. I wasn't even into Digimon when I was a kid. I was only into like Yu-Gi-Oh and Pokemon like a bit before that, but I didn't get into Digimon. I got into Beyblade a little bit. And what's weird is like I know people who have like, you know, people like that I knew since I was a kid who have gotten like back into it. You know, like I know like someone who like got right back into Beyblades. Like, you know, after years of not messing with them, and like has the whole freaking I guess the game's changed now, there's like a card element to it, but they got the whole like, you know, those plastic arena things. I was just at it. Ooh, Creative Studio 3 is Final Fantasy 16 people, right? Anyway, never got into those games personally.
Abandon not your wayward children of Ivalice, but deliver us from our sins, that we might know.
We're getting like a weird.
If
What
you
is
feel wrong,
this?
blame yourself or the father.
Why do you fight? Why walk this path of subterfuge and conflict?
The powerful must rule the weak. It is our duty.
Heavens fall upon your crown!
This vile charade has gone on long enough. It ends now.
Final Fantasy Tactics. Oh, it's a new tactics game. Okay.
Do you remember when your father showed us how to make a whistle?
And they really nailed the style. Oh, I see. Classic and enhanced. You have both versions included. Well, even blown up to the higher resolution, you still get like that dot noise. So that looks good for what it is. I remember when people used to compare Pokemon and Digimon.
I'm Sean Benson.
And I'm Sid Schumann.
Oh, really? The Final
Fantasy
Fantasy Tactics remake was
dates
rumored?
for games coming to PS5 later this year.
Just had a small heart attack thinking they'd announce
We
a
hope
Final
you
Fantasy
enjoyed
X
that
remake.
first look at Final Fantasy Tactics,
I think
the Evil East Chronicles.
you probably have to wait until
The game
7
will
is
include
completed.
2 versions of the original PlayStation Classic.
The trilogy
the
of that.
enhanced
Maybe
version,
they'll.
which features
Well, they had
improved
10. They had 10
graphics,
too.
fully voiced dialogue, refined gameplay,
Maybe
and
they'll
much
spread it out
more,
into 5
as well
games.
as
I
the
don't know.
classic version, which brings a faithful recreation of the 1997 original to modern consoles.
So I had no
Final
history
Fantasy
with
Tactics, the Evil East
old school
Chronicles
Final
launches
Fantasies.
on
So
PS5 and PS4 September 30th.
To me, it's
and
like
will be available for pre-order
care
later
less.
today.
they're still releasing that on PS4.
This next
man.
game is something really special. When I first played it, I laughed so hard I almost barfed. Let's check it out.
That's what's his name?
Just toilet.
Toilet.
Yeah.
Oh, this. This is the walking.
Just go behind this
baby
bush.
steps. I think it's called.
I can run away.
He's shy.
No.
Yeah, no, you don't want me watching.
You can watch.
In baby steps, all you have to do is carefully place one foot in front of the other, which is easier said than done. Main character Nate requires some pretty deliberate movement to make
I'm probably
even
gonna
the
be playing
simplest
this.
progress. It's a
Just because it's been.
overworld
Well,
experience
first of all,
filled with
it's a
oddball
Devolver digital
characters.
game. They make really hilarious games, and
good.
it just looks so
Definitely check
stupid,
this one out
but
when it
also
comes to
like
PS5 on September
weirdly
8th.
challenging and like fun. So I'll probably check that out. Oh, you want to know another game that I would love to hear
Hirogami
more
is a
information
unique
about?
action
Is
adventure title from Bandai Namco
Little Devil
Studios
Inside,
Singapore.
which they
In this
they
journey to
promise
save
they're
your
still working
origami
on it,
home,
but it's been
you'll
again
transform
like
into paper shapes with
5
distinct
years.
abilities,
I think even more longer than that. I think it was originally coming to
including a paper
PS4.
airplane, a nimble frog, a hardy armadillo,
Oh, this looks interesting.
and a powerful ape. Master the art of folding when Hirogami arrives on PS5 later this summer.
It's an interesting game.
Sid, why don't you tee this next one up?
Thanks, Sean.
Yeah, Sid,
the Hot
Sid
Shot
Schuman's
series has
again.
been with PlayStation from the very beginning, and its latest
Are we
installment, Everybody's Golf Hot Shots, boasts its largest character roster ever.
When was the last Hot Shots game?
Compete in courses from 10 different regions around
I haven't played
the
that
world,
series since like the PSP.
each with weather effects and new nighttime variants. Pre-orders begin later today. And those who do will get Bandai Namco's iconic Pac-Man as an early unlockable character.
Hello, Silver. Thank you for
Everybody's
putting your
Golf
names
Hot
in
Shots drives onto
parentheses.
PS5
Because I didn't
September
recognize
5th.
your name change at first. Hope everyone's doing good. I also didn't miss too. You didn't miss.
Ninja
Well, you
Gaiden
missed a
Ragebound
couple
is
of
a
decent
challenging new
announcements.
entry in
Silent
the
Hill F is
long-running
coming out
action
in a couple
franchise.
months.
From the
Pragmata
makers of the
got more
Blasphemous series,
gameplay.
Ragebound stars
Details about
dual
that.
protagonists from rival clans, forced to
been
combine
okay
their
so
souls
far.
and skills against a demon uprising. And longtime fans will really love the pulse-pounding soundtrack featuring guest composers from the original series. Ninja Gaiden Ragebound arrives July 31st on PS5 and PS4.
We knew that was coming. I'm glad you still remember. Of course, you're a mod of mine.
From the game makers, Cairn is a survival climbing experience.
Oh, you know
where
which game I
must
got
carefully plan
recently
your ascent up a deadly mountain.
that I still need to play is another game from Don't Nod.
Manage balance and stamina to discover secrets.
What's it called?
Hey! Hey, wait for me!
Encounter other
I just
climbers.
picked it up. It was on sale.
Marco. Nice to meet you.
I think it starts with
And
a J.
survive the harsh conditions of the
One of these
climb.
other platforming games. Jason. Yeah, thank you, hamster. No, I played Remember. Remember, I was one of the few people on YouTube back when Remember Me came out, and I was like, "You guys gotta play it. This game's awesome." I still have that video up. You can look it up on the channel right now.
But there's still
I was like, "You guys gotta
play
play this game. It's a great
This
game."
next reveal comes
So
from
I was there day one for
Digital
Remember Me,
Eclipse.
but
Nothing can
Jason
prepare
is
you
the
for
one
their
I'm
next
talking about.
collection,
Yeah.
arriving later this year.
We knew pretty early on that the game was fun to play. People were excited about it.
I liked it. I liked the whole, like, the combat could have been done a little bit better, but that story and just the fun, you know, world and the platforming sections. I thought it was a really interesting, decent. I mean, that was like I think their first outing as a studio. So for what it was, I was quite surprised. I really liked it. I want to replay it soon because I haven't played it since it came out.
Something that added to the mystique of Mortal Kombat.
We're showing you a part of a world that is much larger.
Oh, so this is a collection of all the Mortal Kombat games? Seriously?
There was no template to make the games.
It's a bit of the Wild West.
Every part of that game is an expression of who we were and what we wanted to do.
Flawless victory.
Wow, I was not expecting that. So you're getting a full Mortal Kombat collection with all the classic games, including the handheld games as well. That's going to be pretty cool. I wonder if they're straight up ports or if they remastered them in some way with, like, you know, increased resolution. What the fuck is this? Is this a new accessibility controller? Oh, it's a fight stick. Oh. Wow. It's an actual PlayStation branded fight stick.
Patrol here. We have evidence of an enemy intruder.
Metal Gear 3.
Alert formation. Acknowledged. Sending reinforcements. Use extra caution.
That guy? I know he's close.
I'm really excited for this because I miss Metal Gear, like the gameplay of it, especially Metal Gear Solid 5.
Enemy position unknown.
So if this game is just even, if the new enhancements that they brought to the game are just reminiscent of that, and it looks like it is.
Number one. You won't get away from me. Time for you to taste some real pain.
I'm excited for it.
I'm over here. Go back to your own world. See you in hell. I'll grind you into nothing. What the?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that, man. And of course, the Ape Escape tie-in. It's funny because they announced that for Xbox and other platforms, because Ape Escape is a Sony, you know, IP, that they're just going to replace them with, like, you know, look-alike or just dummy models. Like, it's not going to be the same. That was good camouflage. I didn't even realize he was there. Oh, wow. What the fuck? Is this... Wait, are they bringing back Metal Gear Online? Oh. They might actually include Metal Gear Online
Spirit stones.
with that.
Shining stones imbued with human
That would be interesting.
Never-ending dreams. Since time
A new Ape
immemorial,
Escape game? I don't think a
this
lot of people care
power
about it,
has been
unfortunately.
The
It's a relic
impetus
from another
for
time.
human wars.
It'd also be interesting to see what they would do. You know what? They kind of there was a nod to that in the Astros Playroom game. I don't know.
Such an ominous atmosphere, and one thick with the presence of a
Is this Onimusha? No, it looks like Neo. It's Neo. Are we getting a Neo 3?
What makes a shogun? Here is my answer.
I'm recognizing some of the animations from Neo.
How foolish of you to have entered the depths of hell.
It is. It's Neo 3. Wow. Well, this is kind of like... I'm kind of like fence-sitting with this one because I really loved Neo 1.
Tokugawa Takechiyo.
I did not like Neo 2 at all. I felt, and I know there's a lot of people who are like, well, I didn't care for Neo 1, but I really like Neo 2. So it's like you're either like on one side or the other. I'm on the side of like, I think the first Neo is really good, really solid, very challenging, but very rewarding and very engaging and just great, really fun combat. I did not like Neo. Neo 2 to me felt a lot more complicated and just like a lot. I didn't care for the... I know it was a prequel to the first game, or it was billed as that, but it just was like, you had a lack of a main character, it was like less narrative focused, a lot of the same animations and setup as, you know, the first game. It just felt to me like, oh wow, there's a demo available today. I'll probably check that out too. Anyway, I hope that Neo 3...
How old the city really is.
I might check it out.
For me,
we'll see.
it's
But it
all
looks
I've
like they're
ever
borrowing
known.
a lot from the other games. I mean, even the animations look similar. Been watching since Mirror's Edge. Love from London. Well, thank you very much,
I was raised in this city
Ilibumi.
shadow,
That means a lot.
free to take whatever
Which,
I need.
I mean, that could mean a lot of different times, though. Man, I covered the Mirror's Edge demo before the game was even out. Like, I'm ancient. I'm old. WB says thief. Oh,
This city hides many lost and
you actually might be right. This
treasures
might be a Thief VR game.
locked away, waiting to be
Eidos
found,
Montreal now owns the rights,
waiting
I
to be
believe.
taken.
Yeah, this definitely is Thief.
But some treasures come with more trouble than others.
Although, I have to say...
Who are you?
I really just want another game, though. I know the Thief reboot wasn't what it needed to be, and I recognize that, you know. But you had a solid foundation. They could have really improved upon it in a sequel. And now that Deus Ex is in limbo as well, it just... Like, I want these games back. Wow, look at this.
Hey, you got some hosing?
What the hell is this? This looks crazy.
Damn it! It's gone. Someone beat us to it.
Anyway, I'll take a VR Thief game if it means, oh my god. Of course it is.
Elland, my dear
Of
planet.
course it's a multiplayer game. It's probably a hero shooter or something.
From us.
This is exactly what they did with
You
Concord.
Tidewalkers are all connected. And it's up to you now to use that power.
Well, not exactly. But...
This is our new recruit.
Dude, I was like imagining a game with like Dishonored style gameplay and like this type of world. I mean, look at it.
Walkers. Will you help us?
If this truly is in-game, though, I'm kind of finding it hard to believe it's a multiplayer game. What? Tides of Tomorrow. It looks so interesting, but it's like, I don't know what to believe.
I'm Nicholas Ducey, the game director of Astrobot. It's a pleasure to be back today to share more news with you. What the last few months it has been in the world of Astro.
Let me catch up on comments.
Astrobot launched last September to such encouraging
I mean, you watched all of them, even the blogs and stuff? Oh my god. Okay. Well, thank you so much. I miss those days.
Followed by a Christmas special.
I'm sure we'll get back to them at one point, but
and then earlier
we have to
this
get
year,
through
the Vicious Void
whatever rep
Galaxy
we're in right
made its
now.
appearance, adding yet more new challenging levels.
If you love me some Mirror's Edge content, and you will always go back to those videos. Do you
Today,
guys really?
I am pleased
Silver?
to announce that later this month, you will be able to enjoy 5
It's still
brand
my
new
featured
challenge
video on
levels
the
in
channel.
Astrobot,
My reaction,
bringing
well,
the
my
total to
fake
a whopping
reaction,
90
because I wasn't live streaming
New
back then
special
to the
bots
Mirror's
will
Edge
be there
Catalyst
too,
reveal.
including Atsu from
I mean, I
Ghost
still
of
go
Yotei,
back. I go back to the
alongside
game
other
like probably
fans' favorites, but
a couple
these
times a
ones
month,
are a surprise.
just because it's just
And
fun to
finally,
run around
the
and do whatever.
Astrobot DualSense wireless controller will return later this year with a slight twist. So be on the
Brett says
lookout
hopefully
for
we're
more
gonna
news
we're gonna
coming
get
soon.
Hogwarts Legacy
From all
2.
of us
Not
at
now,
Team
but I
Asobi,
do think
thank you all
absolutely the
for
game was
amazing reception
massively
you gave our
successful.
game. And enjoy
I
the
think
rest of the show.
if they're gonna do Hogwarts Legacy 2, I want more mature storytelling. Like, I want to be a real awful person. I think I said this in my review. Like, you need to be like, you know, a really bad person being able to use dark magic and really have consequences to that. And you need the whole Quidditch thing. You need like a whole season or an event or whatever of Quidditch. It needs to be in like the game. But I think we'll definitely get that. I just think it might take them a little while. Yeah, that's what I'm saying as well, WB. Like, that game looked good from an art direction standpoint, but I'm just like, I was imagining it with Dishonored style gameplay running on rooftops, and it was like, you know, an interactive simulation type game, and then they say it's multiplayer, so it's like, that always is like a red flag, because it's a persistent world. How much can you really do, and how much can you really invest in the characters and your character and stuff like that for interacting with other people? I don't know. These devs made Road 96. I'm not familiar with that one, Tyler. Yeah, Dishonored's kind of over. Death of the Outsider they kind of ended the narrative there. So, but, I mean, what's, well, wait. Arcane's closed. Or one of the Arcanes is closed, right? Oh, God. I'm just remembering right now. I think the people who are still the people who were supposed to be working on Blade, the Deathloop guys, I think they are still active, but I thought the other Dishonored, or the other Arcane closed. Arcane Austin. Yeah. See, that, yeah. That's just, ugh. This puts me in a bad mood now. All those guys. Arcane is gone. Monolith is gone. It just, Anyway, let's get back to the current stuff. I've always wondered what a post-Catalyst game could be like, and you talked about that. I did, yeah. I gave my opinion on what a third Mirror's Edge game should be. Is Journey coming back, by the way? Is this Journey? I found that interesting and some closure to maybe some stuff, or maybe we will never get a new one. I think that I do think that there's a future for the franchise. As I said in that video, I think it's going to take a long time. So, I think these are the guys who did Journey, Giant Squid, and Azure. These games are always fun. Anyway, yeah, I wouldn't lose out on hope, but it's gonna take a long time. And hey, we're more accustomed to waiting longer for games now, so it's weird to me, but it's like, yeah, around this time, I cannot believe that Catalyst is almost 10 years old, but it is. So like around this time frame, we would have already had, if this was the first Mirror's Edge, we would have already had the sequel. But it doesn't feel like that, you know, because we're just so accustomed to waiting longer for our games. So, be prepared to wait another 10 years. At least. I do think, perhaps, because EA loves their remakes and everyone loves their remakes now, we might actually get a remake of the first Mirror's Edge, which I wouldn't be totally against, but I still think it's a timeless...
Hi everyone, I'm Kristen Zatani.
There's a timeless look to that game that needs to be retained. That looks good, by the way, that game.
We're excited
yeah,
to
Abzu,
announce
not
that Sword of
Azure.
the Sea will
Never
launch
mind.
this summer
Sword
into
of
the
Sea.
PlayStation Plus game catalog.
I'll probably be checking out that one, because I do like their games.
On June 17th,
Oh, Firebreak.
Remedy brings otherworldly
I'm telling all of my
action to game
friends,
catalog with
because
FTC
basically all of them play multiplayer games. I'm telling
FPS
all of
set in
them,
a paranatural
you guys
world
better
of
support
control.
this,
You and
please.
two fellow agents must confront
Like, I
and
want this
contain
game to
the
be as
reality-warping
successful
chaos
as
found within the
possible
oldest house.
for Remedy, so that
Fun and
it
short
funds the
bursts
other
or deep
games.
dives,
That,
FTC Firebreak
like,
launches
Control
day
2,
one into game catalog
and
on June
I don't know if they're
17th.
going to make more Alan Wake games, but stuff like that. So,
The PlayStation Plus Classics
that's why I
catalog
want it to be
welcomes
successful.
several new titles this summer.
and of course we're getting the Max Payne
The
remakes.
PS2 version of legendary immersive sim Deus Ex
Oh.
arrives June 17th.
Now you can play the awful port of Deus Ex.
In July, Twisted Metal 3 and
Wasn't
Twisted
that
Metal
game
4 join the
infamous on
service just in
PS2?
time for the second season premiere of Twisted
Deus Ex
Metal,
the Conspiracy?
which arrives
Wasn't
July
that like supposed to be
31st
one of
in
like the
select
worst
countries,
ports?
including Peacock and
I have it in
US.
my collection too.
Additionally, two of Capcom's most beloved
That's
games from
hilarious.
the original PlayStation are set to join the Classics lineup. Resident Evil 2 and Resident Evil 3
I'm
will
hoping we
arrive
get more
later this
Gears
summer in the
E-Day.
Classics catalog.
Oh, that we do get Gears E-Day on PlayStation. Oh, I think it's almost a
Additionally,
guarantee at
Myst
this
and
point.
Riven will
Now that we're
arrive
getting a
later this month as
remaster
part of the Days of Play
Gears of War,
celebration, running now
a
through June
re-release
11th.
of the remaster of Gears of
Days
War
of Play
on
is a two-week
PlayStation.
event that includes bonus PlayStation Plus
I
content
think you can
drops,
absolutely
great
expect
deals on
E-Day
software and hardware, and
on
more.
PlayStation. Maybe not
Visit
day one,
PlayStation Blog
but
and
shortly after. They
PlayStation.com
might do
for
like an
full
Indiana
details.
Jones situation where they stagger it out. I would like to see a spiritual successor to
His
Callus in
parents
particular.
cut
I
their
don't have any
own
hope for
road
New
to
Mirror's
save
Edge
him.
since the devs.
He
the previous
watched
game.
them
Oh yeah,
fall,
it's
then found his way off that mountain.
yeah.
He was 11 years
oh shit.
old.
He then
This is the
started
James
a
Bond
grand
game.
tour of every major boarding school in Britain.
Always at the top of his class.
Always at odds with authority.
I'm sorry,
Same
I
thing in
just
the Navy.
completely realized
His
what's happening on
superiors
screen.
all praise his instincts.
And they're all in need of early retirement.
Been
Nobody
waiting
knows
for
what
this
to
for
do
so
with
long.
him, Mom.
No, and I suspect he feels the same way. But what he did in Iceland...
What he did in Iceland was insubordination. It was ill-disciplined, utterly reckless. He only survived thanks to blind luck. Give me one good reason to put him in the program, Mom.
I think you just covered them all, Greenway. It's really quite simple. Bond is a bullet without a target. Let's give him one.
Oh wow! He looks like Henry from Kingdom Come.
Do you have an appointment?
The name's Bond.
James Bond.
And like a younger Nathan Fillion.
And you are? Don't think we've had the pleasure.
Now let's not get ahead of ourselves, James.
Oh my god, this looks great. I'm all on board.
Shouldn't have.
Yes!
We're facing a situation of the utmost delicacy. I need all my pieces on the board.
Oh my god.
009
Exactly,
is a master
exactly what it needs
Whatever
to
the
be.
end game is, we won't see it coming.
Jet lag. Gets me every time.
She's not your friend, Bond. She's an asset.
With respect, Mom. To hell with that.
Ah, oh, they got the they got that model of it. Is that the same car that was on Her Majesty's Secret
Lately.
Service?
Headhunting.
Oh my god, this looks incredible. I hate the title. I'm not a fan of the title. First Light, I'm like, oh, eh. But that looks amazing. Dude, my whole childhood has just been like revived now.
This is another teachable moment.
If you guys didn't play the Bond games from like the PS2 era, like Nightfire, Everything or Nothing, and GoldenEye. The GoldenEye was a reboot or whatever. GoldenEye Rogue Agent.
Hello.
Anyway, that looks amazing, and these guys are so perfect for this style of game.
The team is thrilled to announce 007 First Flight. You'll experience James Bond as a young air crewman.
Dude, he totally looks like Henry from I forgot the actor's name, but from Kingdom Come, and like a younger Nathan Fillion. There's like parts of him where he kind of looks like that.
Everyone at Interactive has poured the passion
I gotta catch
and
up on
dedication
comments.
into crafting an experience that honors the legacy of Bond, harnessing our 25 years of agent
Finally, we getting new
expertise.
info. Yeah,
This
that's
is
very
just
good.
the beginning.
What's
of a journey
awesome
with
about this
007.
game is, like, you know, in
We
Hitman,
can't
yes,
wait
you
to
could
share
do
more
guns
with you
blazing,
soon.
but you were very discouraged from that, and you get killed very quickly. You know they have to make this game as both an action and a stealth. Like, it both has to work. So they're gonna fine-tune the gunplay for the third-person action bits, and then you still have the incredible stealth system from the Hitman games in that. That's why it's perfect. And then it looks like they're adding driving sections, which is excellent. Those were like awesome from Everything or Nothing. Man, that looks so good. I'm so happy it's coming out next year too. That looks perfect. And now we're getting Ghost of Yotei gameplay. That was the best thing I saw so far at this conference. And it's an original story too. And I like that they went with an original Bond. I do appreciate that, you know? And who knows what the hell Amazon's gonna do now that they own the franchise. We're probably gonna get a Bond TV series. The dog speaks. Why July? Why? I was just about to say, we haven't had like any like long gameplay of Ghost of Yotei, and it's coming out in a couple months, and now they're making us wait another month. Like, why even bother? Are we getting another state of play in July?
I don't know.
Oh, Marvel. Oh, wait, Marvel vs. Capcom? It's just Marvel so far. Dude, I would love a new Marvel vs. Capcom. Come on. It's all Marvel so far. Ghost Rider in here, you got like everybody. Come on, and just have like Ryu come out. That's all I need. This totally looks like old school Marvel vs. Capcom. Without the Capcom. I don't think it's Marvel vs. Capcom. But it looks exactly like it. It's just all the Marvel characters. Marvel Tokon. Fighting Souls. Well, that was a cock tease. I was really excited for Marvel vs. Capcom for a sec. Well, hopefully, if that does well, that actually might pave the way. Hold on, there's more. What's happening? This just makes me want to go to Japan now.
プレイステーションの友人から急になんか飲みに行こうぜっていう連絡が来て、なんのこっちゃと思って、予定合わせて行ったんですけど、ちょっと飲んでる中で実はアクの方で
Is that what's his name? The
マーベ
Tekken guy?
ルの格闘ゲームを作ってみないかというような提案をいただきまして。いや本当に聞いた時はびっくりしましたね。で、世界的に本当に有名な IP ですし光栄だなと思いつつも、まず本当にうちの会社で大丈夫かなという不安もあり。
Yeah, I thought it was for a second. I was like, wait, is that what's his name from the Tekken series? Hold on, catching up on comments. I'm like so behind. So much has happened in so little time.
Pure fandom and wanting to say, why isn't PlayStation?
Oh, Hamster, the Bond game uses Glacier instead of. Well, that's nice.
Bring
Glacier is awesome.
Marvel back to the forefront
Runs
of the tag
well.
fighting genre.
Looks good.
And that got us really excited because we had worked with them before on successful
Yeah, it's
stuff
weird,
like
Tyler, that
the
you mentioned
Marvel
that.
Spider-Man
Tyler says it's a good
franchise
thing
with
about the Bond game. You can get people who never
When it
watch
came
or
to approaching
know about the
Marvel, you have to kind
character.
of first
You don't
float the
realize like
idea
how
and
long
let them
Daniel
know,
Craig has
hey,
been
you know,
Bond
we're
until you
thinking
kind of
about
like put it into
approaching it from, like, our
perspective.
system works to
And when
make a fighting game,
when
we'd love
the
to
last
partner
Bond
with
movie,
you
which was Daniel
to do
Craig's
this really
final,
great
like I saw
collaboration.
so many
Would you be
people saying, you know,
When they named
I
the
grew up
developer,
watching him and
that
he
really
was,
perked
you
up
know,
our ears.
the only
It's always
Bond
refreshing
I
to
knew.
work with a team
You know,
that
it's
will
like
take
really
on the
hard for
challenge
them.
of tackling Marvel,
I grew up
putting their
in
own
the
spin
Pierce
on it,
Brosnan
and they're
days.
just uppercutting that challenge into the
So
stratosphere.
like, you know, I
And
always
that's what
think
you
of
get
him
with this team. I mean,
as
they couldn't make
Bond.
something boring if they tried.
But Daniel Craig was awesome. I just feel like Daniel Craig had like two really great movies, like Skyfall and I still think Casino Royale is one of the best Bond movies ever. It just has everything.
The tricky thing is that
like
most
everything
fans,
that you
including
could possibly
myself,
want in a
see
Bond
this as
movie
a
is like in
sacred
Casino
genre
Royale.
for Marvel. The tough part.
They never were quite
is
able to
finding a
match
partner
that
that's
same level
crazy
of
enough
quality.
to take
But
on the
I do
task.
think you have a good point here. Is that
You
there's a
either
lot
do
of
something like
young
this
people
big and
who
bold,
aren't
or you
familiar,
don't do
especially
it
don't
at
even know the games, because like the last game we had
I
was
feel like I
like
have a good grasp on their art style,
Bloodstone,
how they would approach
or like
certain
GoldenEye
IPs.
Reloaded
You come in with your
on,
kind of own expectations
the
of
PS3
here's what I would
and
expect to
360.
see from
That was like
System
it,
Works
or
when they take
007
on
Legends
Marvel
actually. That was the
IP.
last one,
And what came up was something that went
which was not
beyond
good.
that.
So this is awesome. I hope what IO can do for Bond, what
一番最初に
Insomniac
マーベ
has
ルさ
done
ん
for
に
the
提出した
Spider-Man
時
games.
はなんとなく
You
マ
just
イケルさ
reach
ん
a
の反
level
応
of
は
quality.
あんまり芳しくなかった印象があって何がまずいのかなっていろいろこうやっぱり直接話していくうちにもっとアークのやりたいマーベルを見せてくれというような話をいただいたことがあって
I remember personally the first time I saw
Capcom now.
Iron Man was really when
Of
I
the
felt
Mindscape, I don't
we
recognize
had
your
something
name, so
special.
hello if I didn't
な
say
ので
hello to you
今
earlier.
回のアイアンマンのデザインを皆さんご覧い
It
た
does
だけ
look
れ
as
ば
good
分
as
かると
Marvel
思うんです
vs.
けども
Capcom.
かなりこう
It
日本ら
does.
しいアークシステムは
Like that's why I thought it was, because if you played Marvel vs. Capcom 3, it had a very similar art style to this. And like, look at it.
いう感じで
Like you just put like, you know, Ryu and Ken in there and Chun-Li, and you effectively have a new Marvel vs. Capcom game. You don't need to change
And the fact
anything.
that they added anime
So,
mech elements to him just felt really naturally at home.
It's interesting.
One of the
I don't
mantras
know.
that we have for
I don't know
this
if I'll play
project
this.
is from Japan to the world, and really trying to take not just the idea.
I always used to do like Spider-Man and Wolverine. Those are my characters in Marvel vs. Capcom. I love that combination.
To the global platform.
まあ特別なところいっぱいあるんですけど、まあ本当にやっぱり強調すべきは、まあ格闘ゲームのチームバトルの中では4対4というのがまず本当に意欲的で挑戦的なところだというところと、
Daniel Craig brought a relatability to the character that just wasn't there before.
What is that pop? What is going to be something that's different?
And they were just, you know.
Up until now, you've seen tag fighters that have 2v2.
And see, that's the thing as well. Like for a new Bond, like I almost feel like a new movie would have to be a period piece. Because if it wasn't, I don't think people of this era, like they would expect different things of the character and almost for the character to be completely different. And in order to retain the essence of what Bond is, I feel like you would have to literally make a period piece film
that adapts to your
you know,
playstyle.
that covers sort of the 1960s or whatever,
or you can tag in your assist to swap
and kind of goes back to that era, and you can do some really cool, you know, fun things with the gadgets.
I don't think a lot of people thought this day would be here, would come. You know,
that's what I feel like
been
a new
an
Bond
awesome
movie
journey, and I'm
might
excited
go
that we get to
in a
be able to share
direction
it with all the
towards.
fans out there.
Personally, and not, I know a lot of people are like, you know, they want people like Idris Elba for James Bond, they want Henry Cavill for James Bond.
These two great partners.
I personally like if they went with a more younger side, someone who could grow really good into the role, and I like.
The three
I like
companies
what's
have
his
come
name?
together to do this, and I think we really are going to make something magical here.
このタイトルですね、まだまだ開発途中ではありますが、続々とキャラクターも発表していきたいと思いますし、キャラクター以外のコンテンツというところも今後いろいろ出ていくと思います。今しばらく楽しみにお待ちいただければなと思います。Stay tuned.
Looking it up. Richard Madden. Yes. Got close. Richard Madden. I like him as a possible James Bond, a new James Bond candidate. Bit younger character, but if you ever watched his show on I can't even remember his last show. But if you he had a really intense thriller show called The Bodyguard. If you watch that show, you're like, oh yeah, this guy could totally be a James Bond character. Like, he just has like that rough and intensity. And I think he's young enough to where you can grow into the role. We need something grander than Die Another Day climax. My favorite Pierce Brosnan movie, I know everyone loves GoldenEye. I love The World Is Not Enough. I like that song is one of my favorite James Bond songs, and then just I like that plot line. I like the idea that Bond is going up against this this guy who controls all the information and news and stuff like that. I thought that was really interesting. Anyway, that's it for the state of play here. This was solid. Some good surprises and some dates. So I think this was a good first, I hit the microphone again, sorry. I think this was a good first conference to have, I'm a bit, annoyed that Sony keeps saying, oh yeah, we're doing a state of play tomorrow, and it's like they all expect you to hurry up and watch their thing tomorrow. Not like I have anything else going on today, but it's like I prefer a bit more of a heads up, and I honestly expected more of a PlayStation showcase. However, they're teasing Ghost of Yotei gameplay in July, and it had a state of play banner up top. So if that's not the branding for this particular stream that we're watching, and maybe it is indeed they're having another state of play next month that is going to be focused on gameplay from most of these immediate releases. But I think about it, and it's like, okay, so Sony has Lost Soul Aside coming out they have Death Stranding 2. That's coming out at the end of this month. So you have that. You have Lost Soul Aside. Then you have Metal Gear. I'm sorry, that's not even an exclusive. Silent Hill F, I believe, is a PlayStation console exclusive at least. And then you have Ghost of Yotei. So you got some pretty. There's still an opening in November, December, for something else. But you got a pretty, decent lineup there of at least exclusives from. I mean, the first party studios, it's only Ghost of Yotei, right? But at least the AAA partners. So yeah, I thought this was good. I like seeing Pragmata coming out next year. We got Bond coming out next year as well. Surprise, Silent Hill F is coming out as soon as it is. But I'm happy so far. I think this was a pretty decent conference. Definitely made up for. Wasn't the last one that I watched and streamed. I was really disappointed with it. I'm trying to remember the last state of play. I was like, why even bother? It's like, it just felt very like disappointing to me. So this one, at least, this one I enjoyed. We ought to eat good. Video games took a huge hit during COVID. It's good to, yeah, you have a good point, WB. You're absolutely right. Like, the COVID era really, like, it was interesting because like the gaming industry grew substantially during that time, but the development and the internal, you know, structure of like them making games, like the studios themselves were really struggling behind the scenes and hiring a ton of people. And that's why we're seeing a bunch of layoffs and just closures of all these studios. Is that it's like, you know, I think they took it for granted. I think the industry took the growth of the COVID era for granted, and they just thought, oh, it can only go up from here. And basically it went up and it staggered and it staggered and it staggered. And then whatever the spending budget was, that kept rising, but there wasn't any growth. And that's what, you know, they've been saying is like the gaming industry has not been growing. There hasn't been growth, at least in the console side of things, which is why we're seeing everyone go towards PCs. And I'm seeing this a lot in young people today. No one has an interest in consoles anymore. Everyone wants to go to PC, and they expect, you know, the games just to be with them wherever they go. So it is interesting. I think you're absolutely right that it seems like at this point, all those games that have been in development for so long from those studios and the stuff that's been announced, we're seeing some stability there. And some of those games, the games that were not canceled, finally, you know, coming out and finally, you know, getting close to being released. So that's really good. Development really suffered remote working conditions and bloated budgets and layoffs. Yeah, it's not. I mean, it's 100% also just the fault of management. You know, it's unfortunate that humility and humbleness is just like discouraged amongst leadership. It's like you're just expected, like when you hit a big milestone, oh, you know, we're untouchable, we're the best in the world. And then as a result, you know, things go haywire. It's not the people who make these decisions that get reprimanded. It's the people who, you know, are just sitting there, you know, working and creating the actual art itself. There's no reason for like Monolith to close. It just irritated me. Like the fact that those guys are in even Arcane Austin. We were just talking about that, Arcane Austin. There's no reason for that. You know? You hit a rough spot, but these guys had there was so much raw talent in that studio, and just the IPs that they had. You know, I understand you don't want to create the budget for something new. I mean, Monolith could have done a remake of Condemned, and I think people would have absolutely flipped out and loved it. So it's just like we didn't need, you know, we didn't need to shutter all these studios and just lay all these people off and just walk away from this talent. I don't know, man. Yeah, Monolith was huge. The Fear franchise, the Condemned franchise, you get the Middle-earth games after that, and the games before that. I mean, they created a lot, and they were really good too. That's the thing. Like, they were really good games. It wasn't like, oh, you know, hit or miss. Like, their games were excellent. Just really fun to play, very engaging, very atmospheric. That's why it's just annoying. Anyway, I like this conference. It was a good conference. I had a good time watching it with you guys. Thank you so much for being here. I will be back on Friday for the Summer Games Fest, and we will be live streaming that. When I end this stream, it should bring you automatically to my Summer Games Fest stream. So, you know, click the Get Notified option if you want notifications when I actually go live, but I'll post up on Twitter and stuff like that. I don't want any more remakes to just play original ones on Steam. I'd rather play a reboot or a completely new game in the series. I agree with you there, but I think that there's a reluctance to fund something new and risky. And so I mean, I'd rather see a remake of a game than the closure of an entire studio. That's all. That's the point I was making, you know? But I do think that, yeah, we need to walk away. Like, there's a certain point where it's like you're remaking stuff that just doesn't need to be remade and no one's asking for. And Sony's been responsible mainly for this with the Days Gone remaster or the re-release that no one asked for, that no one was expecting, that no one wanted. The Horizon remake, like, I get that had more of an effort put into it, but still, like, no one wanted that. I don't think anyone wanted that, or anyone looked at Horizon and said, "Oh yeah, this game needs a remake." You know, and like The Last of Us, the same thing. So Sony's been really responsible for that type of behavior. You know, they've been like the people at the forefront of it. But I mean, Demon's Souls, fully on board with that being remade. That game looks incredible still to this day. Whether games from that era, the Dead Space remake, you know, like they went back and they fundamentally changed up layers of that game and made it better. That's really what a remake should be. Like if you're gonna go back and remake something, go back and do all the things you wanted to but you couldn't because of technology. And the Dead Space remake was basically it was the summarization of that philosophy, you know. Because I played Dead Space 2008, not right after, but it was a little bit after I played the remake of Dead Space. I was going through my game collection and stuff, and it was up next on the release schedule. And I'm like, well, I just played the Dead Space remake somewhat recently, but whatever, I'll go back and I'll play the original game. And I was shocked at just how different, and they changed some story elements too, but just how like structurally different the original game felt compared to the remake. So if they're gonna do it, I think that's the best way to do it. Code Veronica deserves a remake. Oh yeah, the Resident Evil remakes as well, I think are excellent. I never played a Code Veronica, but I know a lot of people want that. It just seems to me that Capcom doesn't seem to care about the spin-offs. I think Capcom's going to try to ignore the stuff like Code Veronica, and they might. I mean, I want a original Resident Evil 1 remake, and I know they already did that technically, but I want it over the shoulder, similar to the 2 and 3 remakes. But who knows? Like now they're getting to remake 5 and 6 if they are going to remake, all these older games. So if they're going to do that, they have to fundamentally change up parts of that game, which I think people will be more favorable towards, because those games were not really received that well. Even though I liked Resident Evil 5, I did. I'm just waiting for Devil May Cry 6. Oh yeah, Capcom's been I think as a studio, they've done a lot of work to rebuild the reputation, and pretty much anything you get from Capcom now has a level of quality. I know that the Monster Hunter game that just came out earlier this year, or was it last year? Whatever that new Monster Hunter game came out, not a lot of people were happy with the optimization. So, I mean, there's that. But for the most part, when you buy a Capcom game these days, it's like you're getting a really solid game. Yeah. Anyway. All right. So I guess I'll see you guys this Friday for the Summer Games Fest, and we'll continue to hopefully get some really awesome excitement or announcements, and just be excited over that. And I think we'll go on from there. All right. You guys have a good rest of your day, and thank you so much for being here, and hope to see you in a couple of days. All right. Peace.